Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Out of cash, out of luck, out on the fringe. Juno Markev has a killer to tail, a debt to pay, and more trouble heading her way. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw takes place in a greasy, blue-collar world of outlaws, truckers, cops, and thieves. Strap into a variety of spacecraft, settle a score in a filthy space bar over a game of 8-ball. That's pool for yous that aren't Americans. Rock out to over 24 hours of music and engage in white-knuckle dogfights. In the Dodge sector, it's hard to get by and even harder to get even. Yes guys, Rebel Galaxy Outlaw is out in a week's time. I was lucky enough to get a review copy from the developers, and I've been hammering this game for 2 days now. I streamed it as well, and I'm absolutely loving it really for what it is, and that's what I hope to get through to you by the end of this review, exactly what kind of game this is. But before we start, let's have a quick look at the options. It has a launcher, this game. It's on the Epic Store for a year, and then it comes onto Steam. Yeah, I know a lot of these have just switched off. So you've got the launcher that actually starts the game, and on the launcher you've got multiple graphic options on here as well. Not a massive amount, and it doesn't support hugely high resolutions, which is a bit disappointing, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, there are options here, and it has 24 hours of music, and it is kind of like copyrighted music. They've paid for a lot of the music rights, and there's also a stream mode for the songs that they don't actually have access to for the copyright. But the actual sound in this game, the music is really, really good. There's 7 different radio channels all pumping out different types of music, so something there for everyone. And you can also use your own playlists and guide it to a folder on your PC full of MP3s and have your own soundtrack. When you actually get in the game, you've got multiple options for control and sounds and things like that. Now, there's 3 different ways you can control your ship. There are hot ass, there's controller, and there's mouse and keyboard. Now, it doesn't support my hot ass natively, but it supports pretty much every Thrustmaster one. But for some reason, it doesn't support the X52 Pro, which is one of the most popular joysticks ever. So I don't get that at all. Bell for that. And I couldn't get my joystick working the way I wanted, so because I didn't have unlimited time on this game, I just opted to go mouse and keyboard. I did try controller, and it works perfectly fine with a controller, but I just don't really like controllers for flying games, so I opted to go with a mouse and keyboard. Now, there's a few different difficulty settings. Veteran, which I found really good with the mouse and keyboard. That gives you a really poor start. You get shitty ships, shitty shields and radar and all that, and you start from a disadvantaged place, but it's a bit more immersive than starting on normal, where you get a lot more stuff. It also has sim mode and old school mode. Now, them are pretty much, if you're using a hot ass, I would say. It doesn't really work with a mouse and keyboard, as I tried, which kind of sucked, because that was what I wanted to play it on, sim mode, because I am a huge Elite fan. And I want to bring Elite in now, because I think it's really important to stress that this game is not trying to be Elite dangerous. It's a bit like Privateer Freelancer. It's a trading space, open world kind of sandbox game with a story and a protagonist. But it is not trying to be Elite. A lot of the things in the spaceship look elite-y. You can change your power levels of your shields, your engines, and your weapons. You've got different weapons, you can link them, but you can't set up all like fire groups like you can in Elite. Look, if you think of the depth of Elite, it's a simulator, Elite. It is a space simulator. You control everything in Elite. In this game, you control, I think, about 20% of the stuff that you control in Elite, just to give you an idea of how vastly superior Elite is as a space sim. But that's fine, because this isn't trying to be a space sim. This is right here a arcade space game. That's what it is, and it's not trying to be a simulator. So we don't need any arguments about Elite's better than this, because it's a completely different type of game. And it took me about 10 hours to work that out. But after playing it now for about 30 hours, I'm absolutely convinced this is not trying to be Elite. It's not a simulator. It's an arcade fun game. So now that that's out the way, what's it like? Well, you play the protagonist Juno Markev, and this is, by the way, a prequel to Rebel Galaxy. I didn't like Rebel Galaxy. That was like third-person broadsiding big capital ships. This is your cockpit dogfighting game. So you play, like I say, Juno, and there's a story mission. She meets all kinds of weird and wonderful characters, and she's took all over the universe on different missions, all kinds of different missions as well. And by doing the quests, you'll get access to weapons that you can't buy in the shops. So it's well worth actually doing the campaign missions. I kind of got a bit bored with them. I wanted to just be me and go out into the world and just make my mark on the world, make a living, make a lot of money in the world, buy the best spaceships, pimp them out. And I even bought an asteroid and started my own base on it. And I'm buying shit to have my own base on there, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm so into this game now for what it is. So besides the actual missions, what can you do? Well, there are different guilds you can join. There's mercenaries guilds, there's merchant guilds. You can choose whether you're going to be a fighter or a hauler, just like doing cargo and trade. There's not a lot of things to trade in. If you, like again, to mention Elite, if you're used to Elite, there's nowhere near as many commodities to trade in, but there's still a good few. The prices vary on solar systems and how far away they are from each other, so you buy low, sell high, pretty much. There's also contraband. You can even buy smugglers' hulls in your cargo holds in your ships where the police can't scan you, because there are police out there guarding certain areas. But there's lawless areas, there's anarchy areas where there's no police at all and just no law, and it's just survival of the fittest when you go out there, and you will die in this game. I've died about 10 times in this game. For example, if you go and I was in the Merchants Guild and I found 2 missions going to the same place, so I took them both, but I didn't realise I got a double dose of enemies waiting for me, so I kind of learned that lesson quick. But it is so much fun just setting off out there, going on your trade runs, buying stuff, looking to sell it high. You get a buzz when you sell it really, really high and make a killing on the profits. And you know, the thing is, there's no grind like there was in Elite. The downtime between systems is so short. You can literally, in 25 seconds, travel from one place to another within a system. You can travel from one system to another in about a minute. You're not waiting around forever. Now, I love Elite where you're waiting around forever because you get immersed in that, but like I said, this isn't that type of game. This is your arcade, and I love that. There's a gap in the market for this kind of game, and well, there isn't anymore because Rebel Galaxy Outlaws just filled it, and they've filled it very, very well as well. You have multiple types of ships. Like I said, you've got trading ships and you've got combat ships. There's 9 of them all together, but you don't get access to all 9 from the off. You have to go around the world and talk to people and do certain missions before you get access to all of them. At the moment, I'm really loving the big, fat, hauling cargo ship. It's got twin turrets on it, 4 hard points on the front, which is static hard points, where I've got plasma guns to take down the shields. I've got machine gun kind of things on the turrets. I've got twin missile launchers. One fires a cluster, one fires a single. I've got ECMs. I've got half decent shields and a half decent power supply with it. But I need to pimp it a lot more. I need about another 500,000 so that I can get the best power supply, the best shields, the best weapons on it, and then I'll be fully able to say I've pimped it. On the PC version, by the way, and this comes out on the Switch and the PS4, on the PC version you can go into a program in the game and paint your ship as well if you want. I didn't really do that. I haven't had time, but it's something that I'll probably take a look at. To travel around the place, like I said, it doesn't take you too long. Every little area on the map is separated by jump gates. You can jump in different directions. There's a easy to follow map, unlike Elite's complicated map. There's a dead easy map in this, so you can see exactly where you're jumping to. You can see the prices of where you're going to as well, of what they were the last time you were there, to kind of give you an idea of what to take when you're traveling there. So it's all designed to give you fun. It's not like gonna make you scratch your head thinking, what the You won't need like a whole ream of paper where you write down all the prices like you used to have to in Privateer and Elite and all that. This kind of remembers them all. It's done very well, I have to say. Everything that I've found in the game is done very well. The only thing that I kind of struggled with at first was the combat. I couldn't kind of get into how easy it was. Coming from Elite, it was hard to to give you an idea, when you target an enemy, you just hold your right mouse button down and it auto follows that target around the screen. So you don't even have to look at your little scanner to see if he's above you, below you. That doesn't even matter in this. It's all kind of flat. You just look if he's up or down. You know, it doesn't have the depth, the 3D depth that Elite has. But it doesn't matter. You just hold the right mouse button and you will always track the guy. So you can just keep firing away at him. You do have to lead a little bit with your mouse, but it does it all itself, unless you're on sim mode, which I couldn't do very well with a mouse and keyboard. Like I say, you really need a hot ass or a controller to do that, and my hot ass didn't work properly, and I can't stand controller, so that's why I ended up with a mouse, playing it on the veteran level. But after a while, I got into it, and I thought, well, it's still fun. Huge, big explosions, enemies all over the place, coming at you from left, right, up and down. And I just thought, f*** it, this is great fun. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. And that's the main... Why do we buy games? To have fun. And this game is a fucking barrel's worth of fun. But guys, do you know what else? Forget space. When you land on the space stations, you've got all kinds of shit going on. There's a whole bar in there. And I was just playing pool. 8-ball. Pool. It's called pool over here. 8-ball in America. And it's brilliant. Honestly, the actual pool game in this is worth a buy. It just is. Forget the whole rest of the game. The pool in this is bloody great. I really enjoy it. I was playing it in the stream. Just as you can see here, I was just cleaning up. Just absolutely easy. Hope none of my streamers are watching. No, seriously, I lost a shitload, but I did win a few games, but I lost a lot. My goodness, it was quite tough. There's also darts you can play, there's slot machines, there's dice, all kinds of games, and you're betting your in-game money on it as well, so the stakes. You can also win cool gear for your ships as well. I won a cannon very early on, a tracer cannon for my ship. So there's stuff to do in there, and again you got the music in there, you got the atmosphere. It's a fun game, guys. It's a really fun game. Totally surprised me because I didn't like the first one, like I said. So there you go, guys. I know it doesn't come out for another week. It's exclusively on the Epic Store, and I know a lot of you are going to cry about that, but you'll have to just get over it, guys, I'm afraid. It's on the Epic Store for a year. And it is definitely worth a buy. It's not even that much money for what you get. You get a massive amount of game for your money. I think it's £23 or something for all this game. Absolute steal, worth a buy, and one of the best games I've played this year. So there you go, guys. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. Definitely worth a buy.
This ain't gonna go well for you.
Oh, hell with this shit.